Alright guys, what's up? So we're playing a session here, a little bit of 8-16, a little bit of 4-8, just been getting our asses creamed. I am down currently $300, just moved from the main game 8-16 to the feeder because I was just getting crushed, and all these guys are basically anchors. We have a $200 high hand every 20 minutes going right now, so it's pretty profitable if you can get it. We have 5 tables going. Just haven't been running good. I moved to the 4-8 game when I got off the main game, the main game 8-16 game. I moved to 4-8 and I got hot pretty quick. First hand I looked down at 9-10 of spades. Guy in middle position raises it up. I flat call. Flop is Jack, King, 4, 2 spades. I check. He bets. I call. Turn is a flush draw open ender. I will go ahead and donk into him. Just building the pot for me. He calls. River's a black 6. I just shut it down. He's got 2 red queens and we lose. Another hand to go over. Playing 8-16 limit hold'em. We got a late limp, button limp, small blind completes. I'm in the big blind. Look down at ace jack off. Feel like I'm ahead of most ranges here, especially in a limp pot. I go ahead and raise for value. All 3 players call. Go to a flop, which is 3 of diamonds, jack of diamonds, ace of diamonds. We flop top 2. Button's pretty good. I mean, he's a pretty good player. Small blind checks to me. I obviously continue. Middle position folds. Button calls. Looked like he checked for a diamond, so I just put him on diamond draw. Small blind folds. So obviously feeling confident about the hand right now. Just gonna go with it. Go for some value on the turn. Turn is a black queen. So, you know, king 10 gets there, but I'm not worried about that. So I go ahead and bet. He calls. River comes the deuce of diamonds. I shut it down, and he bets, so we just let it go. 5-7 of hearts. Go pretty crazy with this one. On the button, 2 early limps. I raise. Small blind calls. Other 2 limpers call. Flop is queen, queen 8, 2 clubs. So basically just going with the hand, just gonna try and work in some bluffs on an 8-16 hold'em game limit, so don't recommend it. Probably not the most profitable play, but so we just bomb it. Bet, 2 callers. I don't feel they have a queen. Turn is like a red 4. I bet again. This guy says I like it and calls, so I put him on a flush draw. River is a king, offsuit king. He checks, I bet. He says, nice hand, kid, and he calls with king 9 of clubs, so we were right. I just don't know if we would have got it through if the king didn't come or not, but, you know, I mean, he's got top 2. I mean, what's he going to do? So, just not going anywhere, but almost got it through. So just going to keep grinding here. Mason's playing in there. Feeling good, though, real good. Playing pretty well. A lot of smaller ones like pocket 8s, raise it up. Miss, guy king 5 snaps me off. The games are good, so we're gonna get in there and try and maximize our value for the high hands. So here we go. Okay guys, playing 8-16, limit, hold'em. Look down, real aggressive player, raises it up. Been real aggressive. I look down at king queen offsuit. We 3-bet. Guy to my left flat calls. He caps it, which he hasn't done, so he probably has a pretty good hand. We call. Flop's pretty good. King 9 deuce, rainbow. He bets, I raise. Guy to my left folds. He calls. Turn is a 3. King deuce 3-9 out there. I think it was all 4 suits, so no flush draw. He checks, I bet. He calls, and then the river is a jack, so I go for checks, I go for some value, and he folds. He shows ace queen of hearts and says, you got lucky? I'm like, yeah, I got pretty lucky. So, but it's a pretty good game. We'll go over some more hands later in the vlog, but no, I'm feeling good. Again, a lot of king queen, a lot of ace queen hands, but just I'm gonna keep grinding. Ooh, that was a good one. Here we go, boys. Okay, I'm gonna get out light here. Okay, playing 20-40, or sorry, playing 8-16. Look down. So in this hand, guys, I look down at pocket kings. We got an early limp. I raise with pocket kings. Big blind calls. The other guy calls. Flop comes real good. Deuce, 4, king, 2 diamonds out there. Guy leads into me. Guy calls. I raise. He calls. Turn is the 5 of diamonds. They both check. You know, if they got a flush, they got me. I bet. This guy raises down here. This guy flat calls. I flat call. River. Oh, yeah. 4 diamonds. Or 4. Pairs the board. So, you know, we make top boat. Guy leads into me. Guy calls. I raise. This guy tanks and whines, and I don't know how he didn't raise. He calls. This guy calls. I'll tell you what he has in a minute. This guy calls. I got kings. Obviously, I'm good. This guy had set of deuces. Set over set. And meanwhile, on the turn, we're freaking jamming into the nuts. This guy over here had a queen high flush. So, you know, sucked out every way you can imagine, but just part of it. So, real good hand, big hand. We just got moved tables, so we are going to keep grinding, and we'll get back to you guys. Hey guys, so after a pocket king's hand, we were about even, and then we just got in a big one there with queens at the main game, which we got moved to. Look down at queens in middle position, raise it up for value. We go 4 ways. Flop is jack, 10, 7, 2 hearts out there. We get it capped on the flop. 8 of hearts on the turn, but the worst card in the deck. Guy's all in for $1. Guy out of position, I mean, before to act, raises it, completes it. I know where he's at. I just let it go, so big pot, lost there. He had the 9, he had king 9, so turned the gutter ball. Gutter balling over and say, how you doing? Boom, crack my queens. So probably down about 100 right now, but a lot better than it was, so it might be 150 now, but just gonna keep grinding and see what happens, guys. Alright guys, so just playing 4-8, switched over to 4-8, got my ass kicked in 6-18, so we looked down at a king, queen of spades in the big blind. We had 4 prior limps. I raised for value. We go 5 ways of the flop. Flop is 9, deuce, 4, 2 spades. I laid out in bet, 2 callers. Guy to my right on the button, pretty tight player, raises. I re-raise with flush drawn 2 overs. Guy in middle position calls, other guy in middle position folds. This guy caps it, put him on a set. I call, middle position calls. Turn is the jack, offsuit jack, so now I add a gutter ball with 2 overs, which is probably not of any value, but 10 ball or any spade. So I check, middle position checks, button bets out. Of course, I'm not going anywhere, especially in a limit game. I call. This guy over here folds, which surprised me. And 6 of spades on the river. I donk into him, and he calls, and he's pissed. So pick up a nice one with king high flush. So doing okay. Down about 200, 250, somewhere in there. So just grinding. Just can't get a lot of momentum going today, but just gonna keep on working. The high hand's gonna start again at 8 to 12 tonight. We are going to go, me, my dad, Acre, and Lisa are gonna go to Woodland and check out a casino up there. So we will keep you guys updated. Alright guys, well, the roller coaster of a freaking session keeps on going. On the button, look down at pocket 10s. There's an early limp. I raise. Big blind, small blind call. The limper calls. Flop is 8, 9 of hearts, 8 of clubs. So flop 2 pair. Checks to me, I bet. 2 callers. Turn is an offsuit 4. You could probably go either way. Gets checked to me again. I just want to get the draws out of there. Jack 10. I blocked Jack 10. 5, 6, or 7, 8. I mean, no, 5, 6. Yeah. Hearts. So I go for the value bet, or try and deny equity, and she flopped a freaking full house, and I paid her off. So just how it goes. Freaking limit. So you know how much it's gonna cost you, and 10 ball in the river would have been sick, but we just got to keep working. So. All right, guys. Couple quick ones to go over. Look down at ace, king of spades in middle position, raise it up, playing 4-8, limit hold'em. Get 2 callers. Flop is deuce of spades, 6 of spades, 3 of hearts. So we flop overs and nut flush draw. I bet, both call, 10 of spades on the turns. You can say hello to the nuts. And then we bet 1 caller, 3 on the river, so it pairs the board. And we bet for value and get called and pick up a nice one. Next hand, this one's pretty sick. Look down at Queen Jack of Diamonds in middle position. Tighter gal had limped in. I raised to isolate. Flop is, and so we go three ways actually. Big blind had called and she called as well. Flop is ace, king, king. One diamond, so we got backdoor flush draw, and we have a gut shot to a straight. We checks through. Turn is an offsuit 10, so we make Broadway. Both check, I bet, she calls. River's a red 4, so we still have nut straight. She leads into us this time, and I figure if she had a boat, she probably would have raised the turn. So I go ahead and make a thin raise, and she calls with ace jack, so she had flop top pair and not bet it, so she let us get there, and we pick up a nice one. So we're just going to keep on grinding and see what happens. So. Okay guys, well, continuing the roller coaster session, we were playing 8-16 now, so I moved over, switch games, looked down at pocket queens in middle position, raise it up, get 4 callers. Flop is 7, 8, or I'm sorry, we can cut this out. Flop is, no, different, trust me, I told you wrong, because the nuts was a different hand. Okay, so hey guys, so flop came out 9, 8, 3, 2 hearts. I bet, guy calls, guy raises, guy calls. I 3-bet, this guy folds, call, or I'm sorry, yeah, call. So I feel like I have the best hand now. I got to see where I'm at. So when they just call a 3-bet, I'm feeling good. Turn is a jack, offsuit jack, checks to me. I have to bet it. Just to get the draws out and to see where I'm at. Obviously I'm almost dead to 2 pair, but you know, I can catch a lower card to get better 2 pair, and sets I'm almost dead, but we got to charge the draws, so I bet. Call. River is a king. Guy loves it. Guy checks. Guy bets. I have to call. Pot's so big. I call, and then the guy folds. The guy's got king 9. Sleep dead. Creamed. So flop top pair, decent kicker, and river the 2 pair. So we're just running good, real good. So we'll just keep it going and see what happens. But not running good today. But it's a roller coaster though. It's a marathon. We'll see what happens. We'll get back in there. So we'll get back to you. Wow, big pot there, boys and girls. Wow. Ace 10 of hearts, playing 8-16 on the button. Early position limp. We go 6 ways to the flop. Flop is 9 of clubs, 10 of clubs, 3 of hearts. We go capped 6 ways. Okay? Turn 4 of hearts. Real good turn for me. It goes a bet. On the turn, it was only a single bet, 4 ways. River, black 10. Not the worst card. Pretty damn good. Trips with an ace kicker, and it checks through to me. I'm like, I must be good here, boys. I bet, and 2 callers, and we scoop a huge one. You just think about that. Let's see, 32 times 6, and then 16 times 4, and then, I mean, whatever the hell it is. I'm horrible at math, but you guys can do the math. I mean, it was just a monster pot, and the guy had 2 pair that was jamming it the whole way, and it just held up, so there we go. Okay guys, well, wrapping up Le Center, nice 11-hour session. We booked a win of $150, roller coaster of a session, but it was definitely worth it. Had some fun and came out profitable, and we were down, our lowest point was 322, so feels pretty good to have an almost over $400 swing, so it felt really good. So this is the end of the vlog, guys. If you like the videos, please click the like button and the subscribe button below. We'll see you next time.